Well, hello, good afternoon, Facebook, and welcome. Boy, it's been a while. We've been away for 2 or 3 weeks. Come on in. We'll give everybody a few minutes to check into the video. Once you come into the video, hit those emojis. Let us know you're here. Again, Middletown Area Historical Society opening Middletowns History Vault. Once again, we're here at 29 East Main Street in Middletown. It's the home of the Middletown Area Historical Society's Historical Museum, where many of the artifacts are stored and also on display. And eventually, when COVID kind of passes here, the museum will be back open, typically Wednesday mornings to about noon. Staff and volunteers are here to talk to you and let you mill through the museum. So come on in. Hit those emojis, leave a comment, let us know where you're at. Today, we're going to talk about the Raymond and Campbell Iron Works. Some have called it the manufacturing company. Some even have called it the stove works. So, the Raymond and Campbell Manufacturing Company was founded in 1865 by Mr. Seymour Raymond and Mr. Joseph Campbell. The former being a first-class iron molder, and the latter was an expert machinist. At the inception of their business, they confined themselves to the manufacture and repairing of machinery. When their work became known, they were compelled to increase their capacity and added other lines, particularly stoves, which most people that hear about Wincroft or the Raymond and Campbell think of their stoves, but they did many more things. They did stoves and heaters. The gentleman continued in business up to the time of Mr. Raymond's death in 1885, and Mr. Charles W. and Joseph F. Raymond purchased an interest in the business and became partners with Mr. Campbell. The machine shop was a 4-story brick building, and it was basically what we know today as Carnes. Many people that lived in town in the past would remember it as Fox's Market. And that building's still there. It's the Carnes grocery store. The first floor was the machine shop. The second floor, it occupied the mounting of stoves. The third floor had the patterns was the pattern department, and the fourth floor, contained the important patterns that were in use. Another building was devoted to the nickel plating and polishing. There was a blacksmith shop in the building and a boiler plant. Another building contained showrooms where they showed off their great works and products. Among the special features commending all of their products was owing to their durability and the perfection they developed in every line of manufacturing in which they engaged. They were proud of what their work, and they produced some of the best stoves in the country and perhaps even the world. Their heaters were arranged to combine economy in the use of fuel, strength, and durability, while in beautiful design and finish, and made in all kinds of sizes. And I'm going to show you 2 of our smaller versions. We do have a larger one, but that is in another storage facility that we do not have access to today. As manufacturers of stoves, the company was ranked among the largest in the United States. Here in Little Middletown, 2.2 square miles, we had a manufacturing company that was one of the largest in the United States. Many of their stoves were exported to other countries even. Not only did they manufacture stoves and stove accessories, but all kinds of machinery for steam and water power, sawmills and water power, flour mills, and many other types of manufacturing. They assisted in producing parts for those. They claimed to have one of the best machine shops and were prepared at all times to manufacture all kinds of machinery and make everything in the line of foundry work. The business was reorganized in January 1st of 1912 and picked up the name of Wincroft Stoves, which most people recall that name. When you hear the word Wincroft Stove, that seems to be the most popular when you're talking to people about this company. In 1920, the Wincroft Stove Company established a subsidiary, the Enduro Porcelain Enamel Company. In 1940, the business was run by I.E. Prowser, vice president, and E.W. Hauser, the secretary. At this time, the coal ranges were discontinued, and the business was geared towards domestic gas ranges for retail sales. In 1961, the Messrs. Prowser and Hauser sold their interest to Suburban Propane Gas Corporation. i.e. Prowser remained as the president and general manager of that company. In 1965, the corporation sold the business to Samuel's Stamping and Enamel Corporation from Chattanooga, Tennessee. The business continued to operate until 1966, when it was then liquidated. So that's the gist of the Raymond Campbell Manufacturing or Ironworks and the Wincroft Stove Company. I'm going to flip the camera around, and I have a few examples of some of their work. So, let me see if I could get this in focus here. So here we have the example of what would probably be commonly called a potbelly stove. And what have been, this is one of the Wincroft stove works from here in Middletown, PA. You see at the top, they would have probably put a tea kettle on or a pot to cook with. The front here would have opened up, and you would have shoveled your coal into that chute. And then down in the bottom here would be the draft. Sorry, the draft is this little, you can see the windows move. And then this part here, you would have removed your spent coal, your ash, and disposed of it. And off to the side, this handle here would have been your shaker to release the coal ash and drop it to the bottom. So this here is an example of a Wincroft unit. Also, we said they manufactured quite a bit of other things. You see these, a lot of people are familiar with these here cast iron kettles. Many people have these in their homes, possibly still using those today, but these are three examples of ones that they had produced. And these are all Raymond and Campbell versions. These are not from Wincroft. And we're going to go to the other portion of the museum here, and we're going to check out a, we're going to check out a sample of a Raymond and Campbell. So now Raymond and Campbell looks very similar to the Wincroft. Obviously they were the same company, just had changed names, but you have the same scenario where you would place your coal in the top. Of course your top comes off to add and take, and then the bottom just has a little bit of a different design. You can see the bottom here is slightly different than the other one. They produce many different types of stoves right here in Middletown, Pennsylvania. This particular piece is dated, you can see the sign there, 1868. So that's the Raymond and Campbell Ironworks and the Wincroft Stove Company from here in Middletown, Pennsylvania. We hope you enjoyed this video. As I always state, if history is something that's just laid on your heart, we just would hope that you would consider sending a contribution to the Middletown Area Historical Society, 29 East Main Street, Middletown, Pennsylvania, 17057. They are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and anything would help and will be greatly appreciated. Guys, make sure you leave some comments, hit those emojis, let us know you're here. Check them out on YouTube, Middletown Area Historical Society of Dauphin County. They're also on the website, www.middletownareahistoricalsociety.org, under our Middletown History page. Those cycle out. We're up to about, I believe, 13 different episodes of sharing Middletown's wonderful and great history. We have a deep, rich history of industry and manufacturing here in the borough, and this today just highlights one of those. Guys, thank you so much for chiming in. We'll see you again hopefully next week. Talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.